First is to thank God. And even beyond this your interview, I've told people, I don't think I'm out for any elaborate ceremony other than to thank God. And the reason is that so many people are suffering. And so many people are suffering, but they're not here. Now, you know my village. You've been to my home. You know, I come from a bush near Kabale. And my parents never went to school. Now, somehow, the first headmaster of the school they established in my place pleaded with my parents. They finally sent me to school. And from there, I went to work in X-ray department. Then later joined the army. Went through training in Kaduna and Britain. And here I am, from that bush. Became an officer. And by the time I became an officer, there were coup, counter-coup, civil war, and here I am. I did not even get injured, but I operated. I operated in Kalagu Junction, Abakaliki. I operated in Asaba, Uniwi sector. I didn't get injured. I'm grateful to Almighty God. My battalion advancing towards Afikpo after Abakaliki. A soldier was trying to help me as commanding officer when we were under fire. And he tried to clean under one tree. That's all. Gaza. Sit down here, sit down here. Before I knew it, a bullet came and hit him. How can I forget? So when these politicians are doing what they are doing, and it appears they don't mind if Nigeria catches fire.
No, sir, as a statesman, as a military person, when you hear people being kidnapped, killed, how do you feel? Especially when you're...
I really feel bad because I know it could happen to me. Let's face fact. Most of the time I travel by road. I come from Abuja here. Although this time around I came by air. But all of us can come by air. Even if there are so many towns and villages between here and Ibadan, between here and Iyah-Gbede. Can you now say if you come from any of those villages you must go by air? No, we must all travel by road. But what it has done now, it has created a fright in our minds. I cannot just say now they should bring my child from home to meet me in Abuja, or somebody, my daughter from Lagos, to meet me in my village in Kogi State, because, I mean, even if one does so, you want to sit down the whole day waiting for when they will arrive, because you don't know what might have happened on the way. So this is anxiety, and people are afraid to do what they ought to do, and so economically we are not making progress as we would have.
If you have a chance to meet President Buhari one now on the issue of security, what are you going to tell him?
Interestingly, could this be a decision by you, pressmen? Because somebody interviewed me a few days ago. That's exactly the way you put it. Anyway, what I would tell him is to tell him the views being expressed outside. And I will advise him that maybe institutions put in place for effective security, they need to revisit them and update their operational procedure. And also, when you want a situation to improve, there can be no method that people can claim is too much. So maybe it needs to create some committees, if you wish, a lot of committees, which would be considered of professional people in security or something associated with security, to offer advice periodically. Maybe he's already doing that, but I will say that. And it should be made up of people who have, one, qualifications in such areas, two, those he knows and can identify possess knowledge and quality to serve in such a situation, and those he believes will tell him what the exact situation is, the truth, and make recommendation as to what should be done. Because he can't be everywhere. He cannot. And that is why he has commissioners. That's why he has directors. That's why ministers. And then you have these states. I think also, I am not too sure. If a governor, for example, does something that is not right, okay, what do you do to the governor? I don't want to use the word...
State governor?
Yes. I don't want to use the word discipline. What do you do? What do you do? Are you okay? What do you do to the governor? And I think this is the point, really. You see the way governor change party to party every day. It looks disgraceful. We were thinking Nigeria is not a banana republic, but they have almost reduced us to beyond banana republic. Okay? There are certain things that again, is not, how do I put it? It's not for every wrong done to you that you fight. Because you see, in carrying out some fight, you will do more harm than what you want to repair. So sometimes you have to use some tactics to settle an issue. Okay. So particularly jumping from party from here to here to here to here.
Like it happened in Imo State recently when the governor was taken away and they brought an APC governor and all the house encompassed en masse, they come to APC.
Anyway, I've made my point. You know? Yes.
Let's quickly go to the issue of Trump. President Trump just banned Nigeria and from the immigration visa ban on Nigeria and some other 4 countries, Eritrea, Myanmar, and Kyrgyzstan. That is one issue. And the second issue is the coronavirus. WHO, World Health Organization, lists Nigeria among high-risk countries. You are an international expert. You've traveled. You have children who are in the international scene. And on the banning of Nigeria from immigration visa and tagging it around our Malays, especially our religious Malays and some other things. I think Mr. President have organized the committee headed by Alhaji Rauf Aregbesola, Minister of Interior, to look at it. But what do you think that tells about the image of the country? You being a traveler and a man who has studied abroad.
I feel fairly disappointed. The reason is, it happened in the past. And I thought we have, haven't survived it. That whatever gave rise to that ban in the past won't resurface. So I really feel bad, and I'm almost certain the president too cannot be happy with it. And maybe that is why he organized the committee.
24 hours.
Yes. So it's unfortunate, but whatever it takes to normalize a relationship and to get us out of that list should be done. That will be my, whatever should be done, should be done.
If you have a encounter with President Donald Trump, what are you going to tell him about Nigeria? Are you going to tell him that your country is a terrorist country or is a misguided opinion?
How can I say my country is a terrorist country or not? No, certainly I wouldn't say that. But I would tell him that it's a misjudgment to have put Nigeria there. But I think also, when and if we survive this, we should ensure that we too, sort of curtail the behavior and the attitude of our people by ensuring that we don't give any chance at all to even getting our name suggested in this area. Because if we claim leadership of Africa, I mean, look, those other countries mentioned there.
Yeah, the kindergarten country like Eritrea, Myanmar, Kyrgyzstan. And we have Sudan, and I think we have also Libya and some other Tetenkobo countries. So
exactly, we shouldn't be in that group. That is the most annoying, really. We shouldn't be in that group. We shouldn't at all. And don't forget, like I said, leader of Africa. Wherever we are, we should be able to stand that, yes, I'm a Nigerian. I come from Nigeria. And it should be said with the absolute pride. And we can only do that if we're in the right place. Or we're in the right places, as the case may be.
Rounding up, sir, you are going to be 80 this year. How do you feel clocking 80? You don't even look 80, really. Because last year, when you were 78, I was in your house in Abuja. That was 2 years ago. And you didn't look 78. Now you're going to be 80 by July, I think July 4, 2020.
July 20.
Okay, July 20.
That is July 20.
2020. So what kind of very, very unique days? July 20, 2020.
Anyway, first is to thank God. And even beyond this interview, I've told people, I don't think I'm out for any elaborate ceremony other than to thank God. And the reason is that so many people are suffering. And so many people are suffering.
They're suffering.
Yes, so many people are suffering. Just like part of your questions, we live here now. There's uncertainty. We are not sure we'll reach our destination. And it's not, so as a result, journey you are making is not attractive. So, but I'm grateful to God because, and I'm being honest with you, because I just say, look, not that I want to die now, but does a man sit down to decide when he wants to die? Not that I want to die now, but if we look at it critically, In fact, I told some of my children, in fact, I'm surprised they should have come to pick me. I don't know why they're not here. Now, you know my village. You've been to my home. You know, I come from a bush near Kabale. And my parents never went to school. Now, somehow, the first headmaster of the school, they established in my place, pleaded with my parents, they finally sent me to school. And so the school was up to class 4 before I went to the next village, which has class 5 and 6. From there, I went over grammar school. I had no ambition. I didn't know what ambition was. But today, because I've reached this position, I can be telling you lies that I had this ambition. It's all rubbish. I never. But by the time I went to over grammar school, and I saw people from different parts of Nigeria, I too started developing some thought. So before I left over grammar school, I started having ideas that I want to be a doctor. So I didn't know what that meant, just because I was sick, taken to the hospital, and I saw the person who tested me so neatly dressed. And I'm told he's a doctor. So I too want to be a doctor. Then from there, I want to work in X-ray department. Then later joined the army. Went through training in Kaduna and Britain. And here I am, from that bush. Became an officer. And by the time I became an officer, my ambition was that I wanted to be a captain. And I set 12 years for myself, that if within 12 years, whatever I was or I became, if I must leave the army. Then I joined the army in 1961, commission 62, coup in 66, so I've not even reached 10 years. And by January 1st, 66, I became a captain. Okay.
That's interesting.
Then we went to the Civil War, or there were coup, counter-coup, Civil War, and here I am. I did not even get injured, but I operated. I operated in Kalagu Junction, Abakaliki. I operated in Asaba, Onitsha, Uniwi sector. I didn't get injured. I'm grateful to Almighty God. And then came, and here I am today. Those who died, I'm not better than those who died. Okay? And so sometimes today, when things are happening in Nigeria, and I look, it's so difficult to comprehend that we should still be having some of the problems we are having today. What of those who have died? You know, what did they die for? Okay. Particularly when I remember a few things that happened. I think recently somebody also called me for interview. My battalion advancing towards Afikpo after Abakaliki. A soldier was trying to help me as commanding officer when we were under fire. And he tried to clean under one tree there. So Gaza, sit down here, sit down here. Before I knew it, a bullet came and hit him. How can I forget? So when these politicians are doing what they are doing, and it appears they don't mind if Nigeria catches fire. So one can go on and on and on and on.
Colonial date experiences and how you escaped.
Escaped what?
near-death experiences?
That's part of what when you are in war zone, every time is almost that time. It's almost that time. Okay? Because even in war zone, life continues. So sometimes you can just sit down here just as we are talking, to just joke. You don't know where the enemy aiming at you is. It's only when you are face to face, you are firing, not that you see him or he sees you, just firing there. Yes, you now know you can walk around. But as we are sitting here, we may be having beer and so, because in war zone too, what we do here is what they do there. If there's no fighting. So, anyway, that is it.
So what's it about being a general and being a lawyer? Why did you have to inculcate law? I mean, as you retire, you should have gone into some other things, maybe farming or lift oil. You should have gotten an oil license or something.
I will come and lift out of your own, what you are lifting now. Because, of course, Nigeria is a big country. Not all of us have the same ambition. And even we have that ambition, not all of us have the connection. Okay? So, and I've just told you now, many have gone. We are still here. So we have to give praise to God.
So rounding up, lastly, who do you want to give credit to in your 80 years, apart from your parents who really believed in sending you to school, and your father is a very, very top chief, one of the most respected chief in that kingdom in Iyah, and your mother too was a very great woman, because I covered her burial when she passed away at the age of 106, and the whole town said a lot of good things about her. Kings from different parts of Kogi State came. Who do you want to be grateful to? I'm very sure that you are close to Adenuga, and I know you are one of those who can influence that man. It's not the man everybody can see. But who and who do you want to be grateful to in the corporate Nigeria in your 80 years on earth?
You know, sometimes you refrain from mentioning people so that you don't offend those you ought to mention, but who you forget to mention. If you don't mind, whatever way you put it the way. So, but natural, of course, you mentioned my parents. I want to mention my uncle, the immediate junior brother of my father, to whom my father sent me to Mbrutu. I didn't know where Mbrutu was. I didn't know what there was. Anyway, in other words, sending me to school laid the foundation of the life that I find myself. So, it's important as we mentioned. His name called John G.R.A. John G.R.A. I mean, of course, he's late. I'm not too sure now. Maybe he died even before my father. I can't remember. So there are so many people. Too many to, of course, after coming out of school, Mike Adenuga, like you said, is a great friend. I have not seen him for a long time now, but I do know wherever he is, he's wishing me well. I want to believe so. He's wishing me well, just as I wish him well. And particularly, the mother, Mama, was a great woman, and she just loved me. She used to call me David Oba. And I think when she was 70, I was MC of her birthday at the Iyah-Gbede. Okay. So then, of course, many people, but I don't know. I don't really know. My teachers, for example, Gio Obatoyimbo is late. He later became secretary to the government of Kogi State. There was Dr. Toluhi from Kaba. And Dr. Toluhi from Kaba. I'm particularly grateful to Toluhi because when we were in primary school, they said I was too old to be allowed to take the entrance exam to government colleges in those days. They didn't allow me to take the exam to government college. Somehow, I don't know how, because, I mean, like I said, I do say I had this ambition, I'll be lying. Somehow, I never heard of her before, but Turuhi, I don't know. He's dead now, unfortunately. But I started.
What is his name?
Tuluhi.
Tuluhi.
Yeah, Tuluhi. He's from Kabat town. And I've established a relationship with some of the children, particularly one of the daughters who happens to be a lawyer. But I haven't seen her for years now. So, just to show my gratitude, since the man is dead, he became a lecturer at the University of Muhammadu Buhari University. So, I'm grateful to Toluhi, because without him, I mean, I probably would have ended up being one local teacher in my village. So many people, particularly the teachers, P.I. Bello, he was at one time headmaster in my school, from Mayetoro. F.A. Fagbemi was also a teacher in my school. A lot of them. Some teachers who punished me, I mean, I don't owe them any grudge. I'm sure I must have, in their views, I must have misbehaved. And it has helped me to reach where I am now. So that's okay. I think that's all I can say for now.
Okay, lastly, just give a word to all people that love you around the world, people that are watching you in London, in Canada, in America, people that love General Jemibewon, especially the Okun people in diaspora, who see you as the light of Okun and one of the men of inspiration. People, junior officers that have gone through your command and who have really taken a lot in terms of leadership, and politicians who have also gone through your political command. So what do you have for them as you clock 80, what do you want to say to them, especially about life?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know, but I can wherever they might be, I wish them well. And that wherever a man works, he should have some guiding principles for him to succeed. And for me, at working hard, being honest, transparent, fair-minded, are things that will help a person to succeed. If you cheat, I go through shortcut, whatever your achievement may be temporary. It may be temporary. And again, some people, their view is that I'm difficult. I'm not really difficult, but I want you to play by the rules. Once you play by the rules, you're my man. I don't care where you come from. Because for me, that is part of my own policy. I'm a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian. I'm not a Westerner. I'm not the Easterner. I'm not a Northerner. I'm a Nigerian. And so I want to treat every man as human beings. I want to pay every man justly and fairly. And so I will encourage young men and women to do the same. I came here for the birthday of one of my daughters. And it was only yesterday. And let me tell you, even though I didn't talk to anybody, I felt so proud about what people were saying about her. And inside me, I just felt most of the tributes they were paying, I just felt some of those I had the characteristics.
Impacted on her.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You use that word, but it was like, yes, they are saying that as if it were me. So this is what I will tell people or advise people, that they should be honest, so that even if those that know you pretty well, if people should be making statement about you, you should be all right. You should be able. It should be possible to say yes. What they are saying is correct. Anyway, I think that's.
Thank you so much, sir. We've really had a lovely time with you, and you have been able to empower us with knowledge, with foresight, and with a great word of wisdom for our political class, the military, especially insurgency. That's been General David Medayese Jemibewon, former Milad, Western Nigeria, 1st Milad, Oyo State, former Minister, Police Affairs, served in every position, and he is an elder statesman. Till that time that we bring you another elder statesman, keep watching Asabe Afrika TV. The discourse continue. Goodbye.